gentlemen, welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Monday.
Y'all had some recovery this weekend?
Woo!
From all the tomfoolery of last week?
Oh my gosh,
That
man.
was something, man.
Jeez, can we go back to common sense land? Let's do it. Man, we have such a great show for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Hebert, your hometown lawyers. They will take care of you. You got questions? Give them a call. Beal and Hebert. Also broadcasting live from Rumble, like Rumble in the Jungle, rumble.com. I want you to go to rumble.com. Check us out. You can be like these folks over here. I see you over there listening, watching, actually. Thank you so much. We want you to give us a little follow. It opens up so many things that we can share with you, and we certainly appreciate you participating in that. Lots to talk about. We got some thoughts on things that Senator Kennedy said. He is doing, well, let's say it like this. We have one senator that is truly and consistently doing what the people want him to do. And we have another one that just announced re-election. We'll talk about both of that if we have time. But first, Jamie, you sure we're Republicans in this state?
Look, you know what?
You sure we have a Republican legislature? You sure?
I'm not sure of anything.
And our governor, he's Republican?
No.
Okay, well.
He's not.
All right. That's what Mr. Blue Wave said. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's registered. Anyway. All right, so Piper Hutchinson over there at the Louisiana Illuminator, he just reported on the latest Supreme Court move in the redistricting mess that we've all been watching unfold, literally right here in our backyard, right here. We've all been a part of it. The court just expanded the legal scope of, I call it Calais versus Louisiana, but that's not how they're pronouncing it.
How they're pronouncing it?
I thought they were saying Calais. I heard.
Oh, Calais, yeah.
Oh, I say Calais. Calais. All right, so
Yeah,
Calais.
Calais.
All right, so Calais versus Louisiana, which is again our redistricting fight. And of course, we have a Republican, all Republican everything in Louisiana, supermajority Republican.
So say.
So we get, but now we are actually me and you right here. We are spending our state tax dollars to actually, drum roll, defend the state, defend the maps. We're using our tax dollars to defend a Democrat seat that was created by Republicans for backroom deals. I'm not the only one talking about that now. That's kind of common knowledge at this point. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sold us out, whatever. But you would think the state would at least say, we're not fighting that political nonsense. You know, that's crazy. And we're not going to discriminate based on race. Where's that at? Okay? Oh, no, we're just going to, oh, no. We're just going to give the Democrats a seat. Don't give it to them. Why not?
We didn't.
But look, the Supreme Court made a few little changes, and it can now have some huge national implications. But again, I think it's very important for us to all remember how we got there. Our Republican governor called a special session for our supermajority Republican legislature who handed the Democrats a seat that they didn't earn. That's just, it's kind of ironic that we're talking about this, and you have the Texas legislators over there, the Democrat legislators, which, by the way, it's 3:00. I think Governor Abbott gave them a little deadline. Right. So here's the difference between Louisiana and Texas. Here's the difference between us. So you have this issue of, for years, discriminating based on race in our congressional district maps. Then you have it, Texas is a little different, but let's just summarize it like this. Louisiana and Texas have both had the same opportunities to draw maps. In this case, Texas is drawing it after the fact. And in Louisiana, we're defending a map that we should have never drawn in the first place. Whatever, okay? Here's the difference. Because now you got all these Louisiana legislators, they're all crawfishing. And by the way, I give them 100% a pass. All of them. And unless they've been here for a while and they were in those backroom deals, I don't give you passes because you're part of the problem and whoever you are. But I've spoken to a lot of Louisiana legislators who I asked them straightforward, hey, if that congressional district map was in front of you again, would you vote for it the same way? And it's a resounding no. Of course not. They were duped. They didn't know. They were told that they had to pass this, that they had to pass it or the judge was going to draw a map. And we don't want judges drawing maps. But here's the difference between Louisiana and Texas. The Texas legislature, once some things changed that allowed them to readdress their map, they didn't wait. They didn't wait. They actually legislated. They were proactive. We're over here defending a map that a majority of the people don't want us to have. Can we agree with that? A majority of people do not want us to have. Definitely do not want us to spend our tax dollars defending it, that's for sure. And yet we have the legislature in Louisiana who wants to just wait. Let's just wait what the court says. Even if the court rules in December, which is probably the earliest they will rule, even if by you waiting, that means you got to call special session. The chances of you getting it in before the primary, and you know this, the primary is so slim. But if you passed legislation now, because you already had the only court ruling that I know of was a 3-judge panel at the district court level, it's my understanding, that ruled against Louisiana and actually for the people of Louisiana, but against our politicians that are fighting this fight with our tax dollars, by the way. And don't talk to me about defending the Constitution, because if you want to, you're defending a statute. You're the Voting Rights Act. You're defending a statute. It has nothing to do with the Constitution. If we would look at the Constitution, it says a lot about this issue, quite frankly. And it's silent on the state's argument. And go look at jurisprudence on the 14th Amendment. Why aren't we talking about that? That jurisprudence was there before the current revision of the Voting Rights Act that you're discussing. So let's talk about a few facts. So again, Supreme Court dropped a pretty big order this past Friday, late Friday, reframing the appeal. And this kind of be some legalese. I'm gonna work through the boring stuff. I'm gonna try to, but it's reframing the appeal basically. So this appeal at the district court level, lowest court, we had individual citizens suing the state to not go and push this race-generated, racist, racially profiled district. It's what it is. We got testimony at the trial court from legislators that said that. That's on appeal. Okay, so that goes to the Supreme Court because of the nature of the case. It just went straight there. Got it. No Fifth Circuit, Supreme Court. Well, the Supreme Court a few weeks ago said, we'll handle it later. And that was frustrating. And then Friday, they dropped this order that says, we're going to reframe the appeal. We're going to reframe how this appeal is going to work. And it kind of posed some questions and the issue, like legal issues. So whether, and the issue is whether Louisiana violated the Constitution by intentionally drawing a second majority-minority congressional district to, quote, comply with the Voting Rights Act. So, all right. When we get back, look, we'll talk about how the court is now asking, questions on the 14th Amendment.
Before we go, though, John, we got to thank all our listeners for making this the #1 highest rated radio show between 3 and 5 in Lafayette Radio. So,
So Lafayette Radio is like Acadiana Radio because it goes.
It's Acadiana Radio.
Wow. Hey, that's all the listeners. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in every day. I should have let in with that. I'm so proud. That's an accomplishment for the listeners and viewers. And we just get to come here every day and have fun, man. Thank you so much. All right, when we get back, we'll talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about, I don't know, what the Supreme Court's saying about the 14th, 15th Amendment. Those are important. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Your hometown lawyers, all of them, hometown lawyers, love them. They know your story because they lived your story. It's probably similar to yours. So
and happy to have them part of the highest rated show from 3 to 5 on radio.
That's wild, huh? I mean, I am I'm so grateful. Just thankful to you. Thank you to listening. Thank you to the viewers on Rumble. I'm seeing our numbers on Rumble, man. They're looking pretty good. So I just very grateful. I don't know. I wish I had stronger words. I'm very, very thankful for everybody tuning in and participating. I love our callers, which, by the way, next segment. Forget that. Next segment, 232-1542, 844-766. 6607 if you are outside the Acadiana area. Let's continue to talk about this. And look, to our viewers outside of Acadiana, outside of Louisiana, really, this is relevant to you too. You know, these redistrictings happen all the time. It's so interesting that those Texas legislators, there were some Texas Democrat legislators that left Texas, assuming so that the legislature wouldn't have a quorum, so they couldn't vote on their redistricting, which is going to add some Republican seats more than likely. Of course, that's a big no-no to the Democrats because they fight Louisiana Republicans, and so do the Texas state legislature, state Republican legislators and their Governor Abbott, very proactive on this area. So interesting. It's my understanding that the Democrat Texas legislators that fled from their duty went to like places like New York, I think.
They went to Chicago.
All areas where there's been examples of gerrymandering in favor of the Democrats. Like it's so
like Chicago. Really?
It's like that. Like, man, that's where you chose to go.
They brought their body armor and those vests. You don't get shot.
Not my Northsiders in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field.
Man, Wrigley. I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, man, it's a good series.
It was a good series.
Yeah.
I think Saturday's game was probably the better one.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right, so let's go back to our redistricting case here in Louisiana, where just recall it's pretty common knowledge now that our top Republicans really sold us out just to make a deal to get black vote in favor of in exchange to helping out Cleo Fields get a congressional district, and then didn't come to Elbert Guillory's defense when he ran against Cleo. It's very, very very interesting. The folks that are doing it aren't the folks that I thought would ever do it, and that's interesting to me. It's probably interesting to you too. All right, so the court, at the district court level, remember, Louisiana politically drew political maps. They had nothing to do with minority, nothing. It's all politics. Give one Democrat politician a favor in exchange for other things. It's sick. It's nauseating. It makes me want to go take a nap. It's just
take a knee.
Yeah. All right. So citizens, regular old citizens like you and me, don't think you can't make a difference. Regular old citizens filed an injunction, filed a lawsuit against the state and is fighting the state of Louisiana. They said, we don't want our congressional districts to be drawn based on racist grounds. We don't think that that's right. And we dang sure, even if you don't want to argue that, we dang sure don't feel like there are grounds under the current law to make a second Democrat seat in Louisiana, because that's what these are. They're Democrats and Republican seats. Don't be mistaken. Don't be mistaken. At one point, I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt, even the affirmative action folks. Benefit of the doubt. Yep, you wanted to do something good. And then that good idea, like anything else that's suggested at the federal level, when it's not a duty of the federal government, grows its own legs and becomes something that it was never intended to do, and it ends up causing a lot of headache, a lot of money, a lot of bureaucracy that just really hurts people and doesn't help people. But I digress. So the the trial court level, guess what? They ruled in favor of we the people, literally the people. There were individual citizens filing this suit and ruled against the state. What do you mean rule against the state? We Republican. We Republican in Louisiana. What you talking about? Republican. The Republicans are fighting to keep the Democrat seat. Can anybody make this up?
I mean, look. Gary Graves. Now, look. he was supporting Whack Spec. I can't support that.
I think they could have got over that. This was straight up to keep the black vote down, especially in New Orleans. We know what was up. Now, which to my African American friends, please be open, because look, I can't. The Republican Party has a lot more, shares your values a lot more than the Democrat Party does. I'm just saying. I just, so to all the Republican leaders up in Baton Rouge that wanted this, why don't you just go win the regular way with values, with points, that's what I'm tired of. That's what the problem. That's what the problem is in Louisiana, especially when you have these political families. It never is on issues. It's never what you can do for the people. It's always an attack. It's always a smear, or it's always confusion, or it's always something that it's not. In this case, we think we're getting a uber conservative Republican administration and legislature. And the first thing they do is hand the Democrats in Washington a seat. And at the time, it was already a very, very slim majority. You don't remember that? Like at the time, like one, because of all the cabinet, everybody's
people dying.
Yeah, unfortunately. But so it's
because
that was a thing
in Louisiana. We our politicians here seem to think that they're anointed ones.
I guess
that they are destined, especially here locally. Look at City Parish Hall. You got one who thinks it's her destiny to become governor, to live in the light of whatever. Same thing with Governor Landry. He was anointed a long time ago as the future governor.
Well, we could pause right there. No primaries at the time. Think about it. Mm-hmm. No primaries at the time. We needed something to vet us. I didn't have any problem with the state GOP endorsing him because I wanted to avoid what happened with John Bel Edwards, and that could have happened with Dr. Wilson. And looking back, that was a huge mistake because we had other Republicans in the race that would not have done that. I'm not. At the time, all voters that voted, I voted for Jeff Landry. I have voted for Jeff Landry every time he's been on my ballot. Okay, and a lot of people have. And when we're promised certain values in our government, and the first few actions we see is anything but that, it just causes some questions, causes some distrust, and that's very sad because we have such an opportunity to govern so well right now. If we, you do have a supermajority. You have a supermajority in the House, supermajority in the Senate. You have a Republican governor. You know, up till you were actually in office, everything you said and did, both branches have been what we wanted, but yet you're not doing it, and that's what's frustrating with folks. We just don't understand. And I really don't understand what we gained.
Well, I'll say that. Well, you say even before until he got into office, but think back. He pursued that Chevron litigation in Plaquemine, $700 million.
That was the legacy lawsuit.
He was the attorney general defending these maps.
Was he?
Well,
no. He was the governor. That's
right. It was his first term, but he was pushing them before. He was pushing these maps before, when he was attorney general. And things changed. I just asked people, look at all the candidates next time. We all did the same thing. We coalesced around one.
I am totally at fault with that too. Mm-hmm. And we did. We coalesced. We didn't coalesce. We rallied. We rallied around because we did not want another 8 years of John Bel Edwards or 4 years of John Bel Edwards. So when we get policy that is similar to what the previous governor would have done, it's disheartening on a voter because, man, if that guy was as conservative as he was and we're seeing this, dang, who can match? Like, it's like, who do you trust? And then we already exposed the media pretty bad last week. I mean, we can continue to, but God, it's so draining.
But look at who rallied us all around him. All the same people that, again, we supported and thought that they were going to do the right thing in office. And again, all the same folks who were doing the same thing he's doing.
Hey, here's my question. Why do that? I was driving to Eunice this morning. Shout out to all my friends over there on 190. Unitians. Love Eunice. I love our whole state. I love traveling. I love when my office sends me outside of the parish I can explore. But it's my point on that. I was thinking, I was like, man, because I heard Moon this morning did a great job. He was actually talking to the attorney representing the private citizens that are. Thank you. That's my thing. Thank you. But for you, we would. But for private citizens, we think about this. If it wasn't for a group of private Louisiana citizens, do you know that we wouldn't even be having this argument? It would just been a thing, and then no big deal. So
You and I probably would have had this argument.
yeah, we probably will. Hey, look, I'm just saying to the folks, man, you can make a difference. Don't think you're too small. No, there's no one too small. I promise you. All right, guys, stick around, man. We got the phone lines open. I can't wait. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, check us out on rumble.com. Rumble.com. It's for free. And I want you to follow us. Give us a little follow. It won't take long. We don't harass you. And we are so grateful that you are here. I want you to join this conversation, 232-1542, or you can, never mind, it's not up. 844-766-6607 outside the Acadiana area. All right, let's go to Mr. Bobby. Mr. Bobby, what you got today, my man? Bring the heat.
Yeah, two things here. I want Staff Sergeant on jail to check out this guy, Mike Stutz. He was my third cousin. Boy, I'm proud of that guy. Because we all, as kids, all wanted to play Major League Ball.
Yeah.
Number two is we're too old to be getting duped.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the governor.
Yeah. No, you're Bobby.
You know what?
Man, I feel the same way. I just, but all of us, we all felt the same way when we voted. We all felt like, this is going to be the change. This is going to be we weren't even asking for like big stuff. We were just saying, man, get the state back to where it needs to be. Just get us back to like infrastructure and stop all this wasteful spending and cut some spending so you don't have to raise taxes. And it's just.
Man, I sent him $7 for his campaign. I wonder if I can get it back.
You might be able to. $7.
Good thing I didn't send more because he begged a lot. He's a beggar.
Well,
Get a letter every other week. I told my wife, throw that in a garbage can. But Steph, check out Mike Stutz. That's my third cousin. I'm proud of that boy. I wish I had boys, but I got girls.
That's all right, Mr. Bob. I got two of those and one of the other, so it's all good. So he plays for the Phillies.
Yeah, my wife said women are better class.
Hey, it took me 4 tries before I got a boy.
Well, your wife's right, Mr. Bobby. I'm telling you, if it wouldn't be for the ladies in my life, I'm serious. Both at my house, my office, there. We are the limited creatures. That's a little secret here. They can do what we can do. We just, Oh, my ladies, shout outs, lady audience. All right, I love you too, guys. Did it get awkward yet?
I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Okay, good. All right. Hey, let's wrap a bow on our discussion about the gerrymander district over there in Louisiana, based on race. That, that's what they say, and it is technically based on race, but it's all a political backroom deal. But this is the bottom line. This is the takeaway, because a lot of folks are talking about this. So now, like, the Supreme Court now pivoted just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. And it's now going to decide whether the kind of racial gerrymandering that Louisiana has done in other states, can that even be justified under the Voting Rights Act anyway? That's what the court's asking, or whether it violates the Constitution, basically. So this case has the spectrum to be as limited to just to Louisiana, and it could be broad enough when the court's done with it, to absolutely change the law.
Everything. It would fundamentally change our country.
And by the way, all this lawfare, like with Trump, and look, I'll be honest with you, at the local level too, the left and rhinos and these political dynasties, they all know that a battle in the court takes so long. So remember, all they need is the headlines. Now, this is not the same. It just jogged my memory, especially as we transition to talk more about Trump and things like that and the two senators. It's just a tactic that everybody needs to know, so you can identify. If people are using the courts for lawfare, it's very effective because they know how long it takes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The truth doesn't matter to those guys, but the truth doesn't matter anyway.
I got a question for you before you go to Big Chris.
I'm going to Big Chris.
What do you think California does? You think they do the same thing we do when they draw their district maps? Do you think they draw it to where we got to make one for Republic? We got to get enough white people, and you think they do that?
Way.
You think that's part of their thing?
They use their political power to deliver the results that politically that the voters in California sent them to do. I wish Louisiana would do it. I don't have any problem. Hey, I'm a states' rights guy. If you want to live in a state that has abortion, that whatever, I vehemently disagree with that, okay? But it is a state's issue. You want to be taxed through the wazoo, well, you can move to Louisiana for that. But if you want, if other Republican states, if you want, if you don't like that, go to a blue state. You want government all up in your biz and all in your family and all in everything, go to a blue state. That's all you.
It seems like only the southern states have to do this, and it's enough already.
Well, most southern states, most Republican states. Oh, Big Chris, you hung up. We're about to go to. That's because you were talking.
Well, my bad. I was going to forget.
You had to ask such a good question, and I had to give that answer.
Truth.
Well, call back, Big Chris. And the phone lines are open, 232-1542. Let's switch topics a little bit. Let's talk about one of my favorite humans on earth.
Well, I tell you, Josh, it's hotter than a biscuit on a $2 plate.
Senator Kennedy. Yes. Like I said, we have one. Now, he voted on an appropriation about a year and a half ago that people were not happy about, Ukraine spending. But other than that, this guy has been consistent. This is what you call a consistent conservative, not a campaign conservative. That's why I love Senator John Kennedy.
That's why I'm surprised he voted on the rescission bill and all the other bill.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't good.
Yeah. No, he's a man of principle. Question the Ukraine vote, but I mean, if it's a drop in the bucket of his tenure there. He's been there 8 years now, I think, something like that. All right. So, and on this note, while we're talking about Louisiana standing up and fighting back, like that's what this article caught my attention. Like, we have somebody fighting for us, and this is on the national level. So let's talk about Senator John Kennedy, who just walked into the good old boys club in the Senate and virtually lit a match under their $1 trillion kumbaya circle. If you tune into of course not right now.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, I'm about to quote that. Yeah, he is. He is calling him out. So according to Politico, Kennedy's been making life a little difficult for the Senate Appropriations Committee. That's a big committee. That's like appropriations when you spend money, expenditures in the budget. So the Appropriation Committee, that means nothing goes through the floor, the Senate floor in this case, unless no appropriation, no expenditures or anything like that, generally speaking, doesn't even make it to the floor for a vote if it doesn't pass this committee. So very, very powerful committee that Senator Kennedy had no problem telling them where to go. So, and by the way, his own committee, he's on the committee, which makes it even better. It's easy to walk into a committee room when you're not on the committee and just throw some common sense and be like, why don't we do it? But he has to work with these guys on the bill, on the and I like this because he is addressing process, and that's pretty cool. All right, because that's where you go. So basically, he's not interested in pretending the spending process is normal. And for once in a long time, someone is at least focusing on the process, on how we get there. See, we wait until almost voting time. Nancy Pelosi, well, we got to vote on it to know what's in it.
That's just the dumbest thing. Get ChatGPT, Nancy.
Yeah, be
hire another Chinese
careful
assistant.
with that. Be very careful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you ain't kidding. But he calls it play acting.
They're just play acting.
And says the bipartisan appropriations process is
dead as Jimmy Hoffa.
And honestly, he's right. I mean, he's right. Look, Kennedy's not playing that's what I love about him. He's not playing the go along to get along. Just go along to get along. He has to do that to a degree. He's one of 100 people in the Senate. He has to do it to a degree. But he doesn't sell himself out. He doesn't sell us out. That's what I like. Do your thing. Hey, and even when we disagree, you can do that without selling us out. And he's done that. It's only one vote that I can think of, and it wasn't. I get it.
Well, and he's got he's hurting himself too in doing it, but it's worth it.
Yep. So he ain't playing the game. So think about this. Now we're hitting a break. I get it. All right, we'll go to a little break. Look, let's finish this conversation on Senator Kennedy because he's causing some good waves over there in Washington, D.C. Stick around. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I am so grateful to this wonderful audience. We are rated, what was it?
We're number one.
Number one rated in Acadiana for this hour. Wow,
Yeah,
3 to 5 hours.
During our time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. That's all with the audience. So, and especially this guy too, Big Chris. What's up, Big Chris? What you got today, my man?
So I guess I'm part of the number one?
Absolutely. You are a big reason we are the number one. Jamie and I have it so easy. We just get to visit and we get to talk with you. Y'all make the show.
To get on that gerrymandering stuff, it's ironic with these Democrats, but I hold the Republicans to account too. But
yeah.
Gerrymandering was named after a Democrat that first did it. Okay, so it's their baby. They conceived it.
Jerry, what you
now
doing?
They're gonna run from Texas.
What you talking about?
Hello?
Jerry?
What you talking about, Jerry? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. We're just, our ADD.
Yeah, but it's disgusting. And I voted for Jeff Landry too.
Yeah.
But guess what? Unless a miracle happens and he changes his stripes, it ain't happening again. He'll be a one-term governor. And a lot of people are like, we get the news from people like you and Griffon and other sources or social media that we are more informed now. So these tactics they've been doing for millennia, is not gonna work anymore. It's
It's true. It's true.
We just got to get good candidates. That's why nominate again, Josh. Come on, man. Get out there and fight for it. We need to fight.
All right, we got to go with
Oh, no.
Here, George Bush says, fool me once, shame on me. Shame on you, fool me twice. Well, you ain't going to fool me twice.
Big Chris, though, I'm always flattered. Thank you. I love you. We're just fighting the fight from here right now, Speaking truth. We spoke a lot of truth last week. But there's a lot of truth that this guy talks about, and that's Senator Kennedy, and I love it. All right, phone lines again, open 232-1542. Our Rumble folks, call us right here in that number, 844-766-6607, and we certainly appreciate you viewing. All right, love those numbers. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so, I love it. Senator Kennedy not getting along to go along, not just doing it because this is how we've always done it. All that stuff. And so the Senate leadership, here's what's telling. While those guys are trying to pass these like really big feel-good budget packages, because that's all we're seeing right now. Bunch of hot air. Kennedy's drawing a hard line, and that's what we sent him there for on these issues. You can't draw a hard line on every issue. You can't. But on the fundamental stuff, we should. And it should be unquestionable, undeniable where your intent is and where your thought process is on our behalf. And we never have to guess with Senator Kennedy. So I'll say that. Let me just pause real quick. I got to take it from my man right here. This is my friend, Mr. Blue Wave. What's going on, Mr. Blue Wave? You always bring a smile to me. What's up?
Hey, I told you you're number one.
Hey, that's because of
number
you.
One.
That's because of you.
You outbeat Moon. That's all.
Oh, no, different time. Different time.
I told you that.
Well,
and Joe is second place right now.
Oh, and so we don't want to give the wrong impression.
We don't compare to the other times.
Different time slots. Different time slots, Mr. Blue Wave. They're doing good on their time
I
slots.
know. Okie dokie.
I
Call
love
you
it.
the next hour. Bye.
Thanks, Mr. Blue Wave. I always have a smile when he calls, and he's always calls in good faith. We disagree with how those midterms are going to go. I want a red wave. He wants a blue wave. But you know what? We can still have a good conversation and still be friends. And we are. All right. So, so Senator Kennedy, he goes up in here. He does what we want him to do, what we asked him to do, what we sent him up there to do. He wants to vote against funding for Congress itself.
That's the part that kind of threw me for a loop. He's like, we shouldn't be spending all this money on ourselves.
Yes, he wants to. So that totally derailed the budget process because they know he's called them out. What are they going to do? Do you think those committee members want to have that discussion on the record? Heck no. Kennedy just did what you and I would have done. And it not we don't have to be ugly. We don't have to call people names. We don't have to lie about them or make up smear campaigns or anything. We just go in there and on our values, just draw a hard line. And he just chose to make the tactic. Well, we're going to start somewhere. Start here in Congress. Thank you. Yes.
I had no clue he was a Rhodes Scholar.
I mean, wait, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Kennedy. Hey, man, Kennedy was a Democrat for a while. But, he switched and his actions have been conservative. You got some Democrats that switch to Republicans and they still act like Democrats.
He's a shining example of when you switch from one party to the other, you switch from one party to the other. You don't just say you're switching in name and then continue to just be the dirty Democrat that you are.
Yeah. So he wants to cut to the cuts to the Department of the Interior as well. And most of all, man, here we go. He's not buying into this whole fairy tale that Washington is going to suddenly find common ground with Democrats while President Trump is in the White House. He's not subscribing to that. He's a realist when it comes to this stuff. That's what we need. A real, pragmatic, common sense, and entertaining at times. Why not? If you don't laugh, you're going to cry. I'm telling you sometimes.
We need more entertainers.
Especially in Washington.
That's what I'm saying. We need more funny people.
So check out what Lisa Murkowski, that's your friend, Lisa Murkowski. She's upset.
Oh, odd.
He's not falling in line. Patty Murray says he's breaking the process. And Brian Schatz called it goofy to blame Chuck Schumer for the mess.
See, Hawaii, Washington State.
Yeah. Well, if calling out Schumer is goofy, then count me in with the clowns because Kennedy is not wrong on this. I mean, this is so common sense. He's got in there. He brought his little atomic bomb. He threw it in the committee process and was like, you know what? Enough's enough.
I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
I'm going to lunch.
Like straight up. But seriously, what message to send? Hey, we got all this waste. We got all these little feel goods that y'all want to do. You're acting like it's bipartisan when it's all the same. It's the uniparty elite stuff that we're sick of. All right, guys, stick around. We're going to be right back. Hour number 2. Hey, let's talk about our other senator. You want to? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studio right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we are also broadcasting live from rumble.com. Man, we got a whole bunch of chitty chats. I like that. Read some, buddy.
Yeah, we got Joe Biden's lost memory.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, talk about,
Hey, pal.
I was reading the tucked tail and went up north, something about the food being too spicy in the South. Talk about the Texas lawmakers. We've got Will of LA saying, not surprised about the great ratings. Your strength, both of y'all, is local government. Unique perspective not found anywhere else in the media to have a former MP and COC given the truth.
Well, I appreciate that. Hey, it is an interesting dynamic. I will say that we're very fortunate that we can have that background and be able to talk with the folks and good, bad, or ugly. But thank you. That was Will.
Yep. Also added on, it's worth tuning in if we don't seem to have any real media here that's not kissing the current admin's peach emoji.
Okie dokie. Well, and, hey, it's we exposed that last week. That's about all I want to get into it. And by the way, so when it comes to local, what we'll try to do is maybe once a week, a tiny little segment, maybe a little update. And my commitment to you is if I see lies, I will tell you, whether it's about me. I don't know why the heck were they lying about me? I'm not running for office. I'm not in office. What's the deal? You know, but
Who knows?
but anyway, but if I see that, I'll call it out. I have no problem with that. But I'm just going to bring truth, and you can make your own decision however you decide. I love you either way. All right, let's go talk about Senator Cassidy.
Yeah.
Hey, pal.
I tell you, Josh.
Inside story on that one. So Senator Bill Cassidy, everybody, get excited. Officially launching his re-election campaign for 2026.
Yay.
I thought you'd have a button.
No.
All your buttons. So he's kicking it off with he kicked it off this past Friday, right? Or is it this coming Friday?
This past Friday.
I wouldn't even know. Anyway, so this past Friday.
This coming Friday.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so he announced it. So this coming
Right.
Friday, guy, come on, y'all. Y'all can see him. He's going to be in Metairie, Louisiana, hoping to hold on to his seat in what's shaping up to be one of the most watched primaries in the country, the Republican primary. 2-term sitting senator being primaried. Got several quality opponents. I'll tell you that. Definitely quality opponents. You have Blake Miguez, Senator Blake Miguez, good buddy of mine. Look, I can tell you firsthand, that's a guy that's consistent. I worked with him, served with him 4 years, worked well with him, became friends with him. I keep saying, whatever his voting record is probably mine. And whatever mine would be is probably his. But, and that's, I have my own way of judging to pick a candidate. I try to put myself in their position. Same thing if a judge. Same thing for an executive, governor, president, whoever. So here's a few little key facts, though. Cassidy says he's been working and winning for Louisiana for the last 10 years. So he's been winning for Louisiana. I just don't know. It's kind of like Landry. It's kind of like Governor Landry with insurance. If he doesn't fix it, I don't. It's gonna be hard to win re-election. I would imagine. Maybe not.
I don't know. He just sent out another letter, talking about all his wins and all his great when that letter is sandwiched between my insurance bill, and my
that would be so funny if you got
other
your insurance
bill. I did get one insurance bill the same day.
That's priceless.
Too much.
So I think that, and the same thing with Senator Cassidy. I think his vote to convict President Trump in the impeachment, I just don't know if he gets past that. I mean, this is a Republican primary, and there's been it's kind of like a culture. When you're a senator, and a congressman, you do have a miniature administration in your office. Miniature. I mean, it's reactive and it maneuvers through the actual administrations, whether state, federal, state, or local. But you have people that work with your office, and they do the day to day, and it's more of a culture thing to me. And consistency. We don't know if we give you a blank check for 6 years, are you going to go rhino on us again? Are you going to be the bigger person? Are you going to try to be the smartest person in the room, like you know more than all of us, and that's why you have to vote this way, and you don't feel like you have to explain it?
well, I'm a doctor. Well, even his showboating on the RFK nomination. Like,
I know.
just stop talking.
Yeah, man. I think there's a real disconnect.
He's a
Now,
better PR person. A better advisor.
I don't know. Some things, yeah. Maybe it. Look, full candor. Every time I met with him, he was always nice to me. I just didn't know how genuine.
He was nice, but it was shallow.
It wasn't about the we. It was about the me.
Yeah, it was about, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a selfie. Oh, look, I'm helping out the folks in Lafayette. But you didn't do anything. You just took a picture.
He took a picture and he posted it. And do you know my phone blew up? I had so many. Y'all know who you are in the Republican women. You know. You know who you are. I said, I didn't take the picture.
He insisted. And he had to do a Facebook Live.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was Nick Hunter was there too. Poor guy. All right. So he's Cassidy's highlighting things like the fentanyl, the Halt Fentanyl Act. All right. Which
one of
president?
the good things he did.
Look, he's not all bad. He's not all bad. I just want consistency. And I know with Miguez or with Treasurer Fleming, with a lot of the folks that have announced that I know, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Dr. White, hey, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I know where the vote is. I don't know too much about the PSC member, but from what I hear, he's very good, very conservative, and would be a better choice. So I don't.
Eric Skrmetta.
There you go. So and I apologize for leaving him out. It wasn't intentional. So Republicans, we got some choices, which is good. All right. So Cassidy's campaign is stacked with $9 million in cash on hand. $9 million. Moon did a wonderful job this morning. I was traveling, so I got to listen a little bit more. And that $9 million, yes, he has the money. He has the money. Go look where his donations are from. And that's a lot. So he's able to, his position as apparently I was listening to Moon. I think I heard it correctly. I didn't even know this chairman of the oh yeah, of course, the medical, whatever that chairman.
Health and
Human
Services.
Yeah, there you go. So I did know that. So as a chairman, I mean, he's using that platform to fundraise like crazy. There's a lot of legislative acts that go through his committee that hit the healthcare industry's bottom line, their net profit. But I thought they were nonprofits. I ain't here to hate anybody. This system's so broke that, just
some are nonprofit, some are for profit.
Yeah, but even the nonprofits. I mean, really, it's nonprofit. There's a lot of people making a lot of money on them nonprofits.
Our Lady of Big Bucks is what that.
Yeah. But $9 million in cash on hand, not something to snub your nose out. He will be well funded and funded better than any other candidate. He will be able to get messages out. And it goes back to how much of a hit. At some point, you take such a hit where you can't overcompensate it in at least in this amount of time. And with this demographic voting, this is not a general election. This is a primary election with only Republicans voting. Or I think the no parties can go in there, but only pick one.
He's probably going to end up spending most
of
that
cash. Which he supported that amendment. He wanted that amendment that where no party folks, if you weren't part of a party, you can pick one, Democrat, Republican, or any other one. You can only vote one in their primary. He supported that. I wonder why. I think it should be closed. What is so hard from these Republicans to get it right? The House did. The Louisiana House got it right. Every election in Louisiana was going to be a closed primary. Republicans vote for their Republican nominee. Democrats vote for theirs. Scientology vote for theirs. But no, we couldn't do that. Had to open it up. Had to water it down. And had to take it away from the local and other state elections. Like, just so typical Louisiana. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Let's keep talking about our other center. We got some new things and maybe that election, too. Yeah, man, even Pete Hegseth will find his way in our news. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Man, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We are going to open up the phone lines next segment, 232-1542. Appreciate all the chats on Rumble. I want to see you chat some more on Rumble. Come chat us on rumble.com. Just give us a little follow. Give us a little chat. I think it's question 8. Question 8 asks, no budget talk today? Where's the media? They should be talking about it. Why am I gave my thoughts. This is the only thing I think the local folks, well, no, there's a lot more to be looking at, but I think the big high-level summarized version is the administration down the street has $100 million more than the last one. What are you doing with it? And that's the question I would ask. So, if, media, ask those questions. Now, let's go back and talk about Senator Cassidy. Man, he's run for re-election. He feels good. Says he's going to win. Just tell you what the man said.
Mm-hmm.
Says he feels good. No, that was Trump. What do you think Trump thinks of all this? Like, he doesn't like Cassidy. You would, because I think Trump could make a difference here, and it'll be interesting. Those poll numbers will have to be there though. If it's not close, I don't see him getting in. No point.
No.
For him politically, and you need the politics to have the power. You need the power to help people. That is like we elect. That's another thing that's so frustrating about like Louisiana's redistricting and some of the tomfoolery. I'll use your stuff in Washington is we elect people to have power. Like everybody think about this. Every time we vote for someone and we put them in office, me included when I was in office, you give that person power. It's what that person does with that power that counts, that matters. That's why, all this talk leading up to the election about conservative policies, bring back fiscal responsibility, get government doing what government's supposed to do at the state level. All these state talks, we're going to get DOTD into check. We're going to get our tax reform. We're going to have insurance reform. All the things. We're going to stop wasteful spending. Nowhere did they say we're going to give a district. I don't even remember talking about, did the governor's election or any legislators running, did y'all run on redistricting? I don't remember that being a thing.
If they had, it would have been a thing to us. We would have taken note.
When I first saw the special session, I was like, finally, we'll get it right. Draw this dang thing the right way, give Graves his district back, and move on. But then the little childish stuff started happening.
Churlish.
I don't like Gary Graves. Anyway, so I'm going to give the Democrats a seat because my butt feelings, I was butt hurt.
Yeah.
My feelings were hurt. Upset me. And then the legislature just, okay. That, in their defense, it was one of their first votes. You had a lot of new guys. I get all the things. It's no excuse, but I get all the things. All right. So, back to this. But Senator Cassidy, definitely facing some serious heat. Again, we talked about Blake Miguez, Senator Miguez, Treasurer Fleming, other folks. And a lot of those guys, at least those two, are pushing heavy on Cassidy's vote to convict Donald Trump. And really, Fleming and Miguez, you got a very similar candidate there. It's just different styles, different generations, different, that good, bad, or ugly. Don't take that the wrong way. But it seems to be the demographics are different, but the policies are the same. And again, you send Blake Miguez or John Fleming or any of those guys I rattled off to Washington, I don't think we have to worry about the silliness. I think we can go raise our families and run our businesses and go to work and enjoy life, and we wouldn't have to worry about who we sent over there with the power to do something that we don't want. I just don't think we have to worry about that. We don't worry. Do we worry about it with Kennedy? No. There was that one vote on the Ukraine spending that caused people to have a uproar. But other than that, we just don't have to worry about it. But we always have to worry about it with this one. Always. Like Cassidy, we don't like having the senator that's always in the negotiations because that means you're not respected by either one. You don't have a home. You're not getting anything done. Mary Landrieu, for what it's worth, I didn't vote for the lady, ever. But for what it's worth, she did hold out on Obamacare, and she held out big time. And then Hannity would call it the Louisiana Purchase, that she held out, and they finally gave Louisiana all that money, which I'm just saying, if you want to be fair, that money was handed to Jindal. So
she fought for the state.
Well, I mean, look, hey, I didn't vote for her for many reasons. For many reasons, I didn't vote for her. I will say this: she's always been kind to me when I've talked to her. We just disagree on some philosophies. But if you like, my point in all this. I've really only seen one politician come out with like a really big win. They all get something by playing that little game, but you can't play that game for long. Not in Washington, and not as a senator. You just can't. You always see it on the tail end, Manchin, all these other folks, for a reason. You just can't do it for long. But Senator Landrieu was the only one. I didn't like what she was doing. I didn't like her voting to support universal health care. I vehemently opposed it, did not like it. She was the only Democrat to hold out and get money for the state. And then what do we do with it? You tell me. You tell me, guys. I'm just saying, like, man, we have an opportunity as Republicans to really do some cool things. Some really good things if we only learn how to govern. If we only learn how, and the governing is very easy. Now look, this might mean you only have one term. I get it. Go do what the people sent you there to do. Just start with that. Just start with that. Now look, in the process, yes, you might upset some folks. You might upset the media. You might upset the apple cart. You might take away things that made them powerful and comfortable at your expense or the people's expense. But who cares? That's why, I mean, I was in office. Being in office is such a small period of your life. It can't be your identity. Like, it has to be public service. You have to get in there to give back, and be okay if it's only one term. If you did the right thing, if you can sleep with your head on the pillow, you might have another opportunity. You might not. That might have just been your journey. It's all good. If it's all good, if you've done it the right way, if you've done it in good faith. If you've just done what the folks told you to do. Like, we send our senators, since we're talking about them, we send them to represent our conservative values. If I lived in California, I would not have that expectation. I would expect my senators, I'm Republican. They're not going to vote the way I want to vote in Washington. Perhaps administratively, if I'm a veteran, maybe I need some VA services. The best I can hope for is maybe their administrative side is good, that they can help veterans. I'm just trying to talk realistically on the situation. But in Louisiana, we shouldn't have to worry about that. And we shouldn't have to worry about our governor and our legislature creating seats for Democrats, especially in a time when the Republicans needed it the most. So that whole culture that we've seen in the redistricting, we see it in Senator Cassidy's office. It's just a culture thing. It's not anything personal. It's just a different culture. And it's not the culture that we, the people, elected. It's not the culture that we elected down the street in Baton Rouge. It's not the culture in one of our senators' office. I've been there. It's different. Both those staffs are different. Wouldn't you say?
I would. It's something I didn't know. Will and Cecilia let us know that he says, guys, what did it for me is when I found out Psycho Bill was from Illinois and not even from Louisiana. I bet there are many more voters that didn't know this.
Who's that?
Will.
Will. Yeah, Will. Man, you're right. A lot of folks did, and that might mean something. And
I didn't know.
I didn't know that. I thought I heard that maybe before, but that might explain some of the disconnect. That might explain some of the mannerisms that aren't aligned or expected. But put all that aside. You can't deny that the voters of Louisiana are majority conservative, not even majority Republican, majority conservative, registered Democrat, registered Republican, registered whatever. Mostly registered Republican, but a majority of our citizenry in Louisiana are conservative. So when we send you to Louisiana, or when we send you to Washington, just do what we sent you there to do. But just do it. Just do what we sent you there to do. You will keep your job every time. Higgins knows that. Higgins knows. I just got to do what the people sent me to do, and then do the best I can every single day in good faith. That's all you got to do. It ain't hard. Just do it. All right, guys, stick around. Phone lines are going to be wide open when we get back, and I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a buzz, man. You got questions, they'll take care of you. They'll shoot you straight. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to the phone lines, 232-1542, or outside the Acadiana area right there on Rumble, 844-766-6607. Mr. Bobby, what you got today, my man?
Well, 10 years ago when we first got in there, we called him Hopalong Cassidy because Hopalong Cassidy was a Hollywood cowboy movie star in the 40s. But here's the deal. I'm making a prediction.
Okay.
They're gonna get him in a runoff, and it's gonna be Hopalong Cassidy and Miguez, and then Miguez gonna beat him
Okay.
and send his ass back to Chicago.
I can live with that, Mr. Bobby. I bet you a lot of our listening audience could live with that. And that might very well be what happens.
There's people up there
Yeah.
in Illinois.
Oh yeah. I still believe that Miguez has the strongest chance to win. I just my gut feeling. I have no science behind that. It's maybe it's because I live here and not up north. I love Dr. Fleming, and I'll go on the record of that. If he's in the Senate seat, we're good. We're good. All four of the gentlemen that we discuss, we wouldn't have to worry about some of the things we have to worry about, and that's I think that's the biggest tipping point for most voters, in my opinion.
It's gonna be an ugly primary. I'll tell you that much.
I hope not. That's sad. Just call facts. Here's the fact. You have if all the challengers to Cassidy, you have enough facts to win on facts. I hope we don't, but by all means, some consultant's going to tell you the opposite, and you'll do it. All right, Renee, what you up, Renee? Talk to us, baby.
Yeah, I'm all about the facts and life experience,
Yeah.
I look at the History Channel. I don't go absolute, but I look at the science. I mean, I had a woman judge for my violent crime case. Being a victim, I had a woman police chief, a woman prosecutor. I've been in the military. See how the women work. I see how the women in politics work, and the mayors and the police chiefs and the woke this and the brick throwing. And the science. Send them all back home to the house cooking and cleaning. They don't need to be have the.
Renee.
Let him finish.
Renee.
Oh, you should have let him finish.
Oh, but that's a little harsh to out of
They
respect
can
for our female
They
listeners.
can handle it. You should have let him finish. Next time he's going to let you finish. All I was going to say is going to ask him a few little questions. And I was going to ask him like, hey, now we're here trying to set you up with he gave us a demographic he wanted about a year ago. And we're trying to help you. And I don't know if that's helping when you say things like that.
Look, I got 3 daughters, a wife. I ain't messing with no women right now.
Hey, you let Renee finish next time.
Well, if he wants to call back and I don't
Call
know.
back, Renee. Come finish your thought. Tell them where they need to go.
I just no offense, Renee. I love you, man.
Tell them where they need to go,
I
Renee.
was getting scared.
I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I told you we're the limited creatures. Women can do anything. I know that. I have 2 daughters. One's an adult. One's getting there. And I'm married to a woman. And she's identified as a woman her whole life.
Which, unlike you identify as trans.
No. I identify as a male. I am trans. I am transgen. I am transgenerational. We have had these conversations. I could be an OG millennial or a very young Gen Xer, and I'm cool. I can swim in both ponds. I need you to know that. I need you to recognize that.
Just be careful what ponds you swim in. My friend.
No, but I love women. Love the ladies. There's a reason why all of my high level folks, except one, is actually a lady. So goes to show you. Goes to show you. Us Republicans, we actually can hire diversity if you just get out of our way. If you just get out of our way.
This is breaking news.
What?
Attorney General Bondi orders grand jury probe into Obama officials over Russia investigation. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm all right. I just don't know how far that's going to go. And you usually don't see those things broadcast. So I don't know how much, there's a lot of politics being played that I just feel like we need to be very cautious here, okay? I support honesty. I support truth. So if the AG is seeking truth and honesty in a good faith way, more power to you. I just want to. I told you I'd bring facts. I told you to bring. And I am a lawyer. I see that. I don't usually see that. That's usually not what happens. Now, you usually also don't have a former president whose high level folks were doing what they were doing. So this is unprecedented time. So even in that same breath, I walk myself back.
Well, it'll be look, if they actually do something, if there's a there,
yeah,
and something happens, great.
And on that point, being this transparent would actually prove to be wise. It would prove to be wise. I told you, Speaker Johnson, when I said he's probably the wisest. He's either the wisest person in Washington and in this country, or he's the opposite. When he supported those appropriation bills that increased our debt, I said, I'm telling you, and he said point blank. This is why I respect this man for many reasons. I respect Mike Johnson, our speaker, because he went on Moon's show and he said the truth. It's all about politics. It's all about the presidential election. What other politician would say it like that? I mean, there's a few of us.
Look, I'm just worried they're gonna do all this talk, like with the Epstein stuff. You know, we got this. Oh, we're gonna release all this stuff, drop all it.
Yeah.
All right, then what? Don't set us up to let us down now.
That's the only thing too. You know, it's like how political is this? And but you know, we need to seek truth. That's cool. I'm just there. There's no direct evidence of lawfare here. There's no direct evidence of anybody abusing anything. So I'm not suggesting that. What I'm saying is it is not usual to see a probe, not even a grand jury indictment or anything, just a probe being on the media like that.
So I'm surprised they didn't call for like a special counsel. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe if the grand jury does find something.
But special counsel, why? These are citizens.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you know, and that may be on the former president, which, boy, you better have some bold proof.
Yeah, they didn't do that
If you
for
don't
Trump.
have bold proof against Obama, I get it, guys. I believe he was in part of the Russia collusion hoax. I believe that. I want to go on the record and say I believe it. My gut feeling tells me that he ordered or was orchestrating the DOJ to do that. I believe that. That is my belief. But if you don't have proof, do not bring it. Because look, we just spent 4 years saying how wrong the Democrats were with lawfare. I don't want us to go. If we have a large burden, Republicans, especially in Washington right now. You have a large burden of saving the country, and I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm not being dramatic. Because if we lose the judiciary, or if we lose the justice system, meaning it becomes political, meaning whoever's in office will use that power and that might to abuse and harass and prosecute political enemies. If we let that happen, because the Democrats have already done it, that is their policy. Let them own it. That is their policy. The moment we do it is the moment we lose our country, because there's no turning back. If our two major political parties are weaponizing the DOJ when they have power, none of us are safe. And who the heck would want to run for office? It's just, please understand the burden that is on our party right now. I'm very much a proud Republican. I love what we stand for. I love what we were created on, and I love the future that we're told is our vision as far as leadership goes. I love all that. If they change, we'll change. I get it. But we have to save our country, and all we have to do is not go there. So, not saying they are, just saying it kind of. Some things that are a little unusual but these are unusual times. And, you know, in the same breath, I will say there's a lot of wisdom. If you know you got something, there's a lot of wisdom to coming out and doing all this, because it is extraordinary. These are extraordinary circumstances, these accusations on a former president, that you want the folks to be able to know as much as they can when it happens. So, all right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. One more segment. We're going to open up those phone lines. Renee, call back in. I'm not going to let Jamie hang up on you. Come on, baby. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios. Your hometown lawyers, Beal and Abear. Give those guys a call, man. You got legal questions, call them. They'll take care of you, shoot you straight. Also broadcasting live on Rumble. Thank you to all the Rumble viewers. We certainly appreciate you out there. Thank you so much. And you can give us a call, too, no matter where you're at, right there. There you go. 844-766-6607. Locally here in Lafayette, Acadiana region, 232-1542. All right, Renee, finish your thought, Renee.
My thing is, like I said, I'm not absolute. I know about Boudicca, Margaret Thatcher, and Golda Meir, who had social mobility. They weren't groomed as from childhood like noble women. But the thing is, in the West, and anywhere the communists left touch, women have been weaponized against men. Instead of working with men, they have been actually weaponized to harm men, to compete with men, to belittle men, to use their status. Poor me, you can't beat a woman, but they'll come at you hissing and throwing things and assaulting you and expecting to get away with it. I mean, it's real bad in all the English countries and France and all the...
Jamie, you did it again?
I'm sorry. I don't know, Renee. I just...
Yeah. Well, he got a lot more out.
He did.
See, this is what I was about to ask him, and you just hung up on him. This is what I was about to ask him. Renee, so like Margaret Thatcher and a few others, those are the exceptions.
He lost me at Goldmeyer. Like, come on.
I love you, Renee. Hey, I've said it on the record. I'll say it again. The best people in my life that I've learned the most from in my life and look up to are women. That's just my experience. And my wife being the number one definitely makes me better. All right, let's see here. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, is that me?
That's you. Yeah, ma'am. Thanks for calling. What you got?
Well, two things. First, that idiot on the phone just before me just about took my breath away with the level of his ignorance. That is like like the first class level of stupidity beyond which I don't think there's anything I need to say. Except that maybe the God in heaven that once in a while does something right probably cut him off because he said, I can't listen to this anymore.
Well, that was me.
Whoa!
That was me cutting him
Renee,
off.
Renee, you're not getting it. I'm telling you. Now, what else you got?
Well, I want to tell you one thing. I was watching to show you what kind of money is being spent on all kind of interesting projects.
Okay.
They're digging a hole right next to the old Lord's Health Club, which is now called Bar Club. It's owned by UL, and it's their nursing school. I'm standing outside watching, and a dump truck drives up. It was dirt, okay? It dumps the dirt in one spot, and then the big earth mover comes with his big scoop and scoops up dirt from another spot and dumps it in the dump truck and drives away. I said, this is really, what is it? Is this an exchange or something? Do they get? So I waved
Some
at the
different
guy.
dirt.
I gave him a quick finger. I said, come talk to me. He's looking kind of wry, and he came anyway. So he comes over and he talks to me. He says, well, he said, we spent last week packing down that dirt, but it was too wet when we tested it. So now we're going to dig it out and put in some other dirt. I said, well, what's going to happen to the old dirt? Well, it's going back to the quarry. I said, really? And I said, and for this we make donations to UL, and that is so beyond the pale that anything that ain't. I said, well, what's the rush? Why don't you just let it dry? Well, we got to get out by Friday. So we got to get this finished by Friday. I said, well, you couldn't get an extension, get a little, so you wouldn't have to pay default. Oh no, we just that's false. I just do what I'm told. So you got to go there and see it. It's going on right now. Go by.
I'm gonna swing by
on St. Landry. Go by St. Landry Street and watch him dig out the dirt on one pile and then reach over and grab some from another.
Hey, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a detour. I'll swing. I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna swing by on the way out of the studio. Hey, thank you.
Okay, now we know where the money goes.
We're running out of
in a hole.
Let me grab some other callers. Hey, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Hey, that story. It's sad, but it put a smile on my face because it's so. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. I bet you there's so many examples out there if the public dollar was only spent in the way that the public would want it to be, we'd all be okay. it needs it to be. Big Chris, what's up, buddy?
Get Jamie's hand away from the butt. Now, I did notice that he didn't touch you when the woman was calling. He knows where his bread's buttered.
No,
exactly.
Because she was speaking some wisdom. That's why.
Look, Renee's about to get us. Yeah, you get us in some real trouble, man.
Renee. Oh, no. Hey, Big Chris, you remember my boy Renee called last year, about a year ago now, and said something about he's looking for a particular type of lady.
A Latina woman. He
had
did the pepper plant. He found out a nice Latina woman while he's working at the pepper plant.
Yeah. But look, he ain't got Big Renee, you can't find that nice lady talking like that. They don't want to hear that. Come on now. Hold on now.
He's marked for life. He's marked for life now.
Look, hide your wife, hide your kid.
Poor Renee.
Poor Renee.
He's coming from a good place.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Big Chris, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right. So we're wrapping up. Oh, my goodness. Hey, if you're on hold, I'm so sorry we couldn't get to you, but thank you so much. Let's see here. Well, we had one more. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, it says different grades of material. She said ignorance of the caller. That's ignorance of construction.
Oh, no. Oh, oh, no. Anyway, disregard that. It's okay.
Okay.
But I do appreciate you. I understand. Yeah, there are some things that you have to bring back because of samples. But I just like the exchange, and I think that you made some good points too.
Funny.
But I hear what you're saying.
That's how things work around here.
I hear you. I love all our chatters. Hey, everybody on that Rumble chat, man. Thank y'all. Y'all made it a great show. To our audience, you always make it a great show. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, number one in Acadiana from 3 to 5. That's all because of our audience. And God bless you, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys.